Hey, welcome to the Red Sea. My name is Jesse. Before you jump into that video, make sure you visit KoolAidMan100x.com to get custom ebooks and other things that's available on the website. Link will be in the description below. Also visit the NFL shop to get yourself some Kansas City's Chiefs gear and your own personal team gear as well. And also, all the other sponsors will be in the description below. Now back to Kool-Aid.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy KoolAidMan100x. Welcome to the Red Sea. How you guys doing? We're going to be jumping into the Colts Offensive Playbook. We're going to be looking at Singleback Wing Close. We're going to be looking at a play called Motion Out and Up. It's going to be a little bit of a challenging play. Thought it was kind of unique because I have not seen anybody really run it, and I thought this would be a great play to try out if you're interested in this formation and this play. So be on the lookout for it. Now, if y'all are interested into the 5-to-1 theory, 5-to-1 theory would be available in my membership. Link will be in the description below, so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about 5-to-1 theory. And yeah, I'm not going to be explaining it like that, like I used to. So, so yeah, definitely hit the video up if y'all want to. Link will be in the description below for the membership, and I'll probably be on the screen somewhere. So I'll be on the lookout for that. What we're going to be doing here is understanding how this play is work in and up. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be understanding where our two main players are going to throw to, because this play is looking like it's a little bit more complicated than what a lot of people see, and they see like this play is unrunnable, but it's actually one of the best runnable plays you can run out of this formation. Me personally, for this play is going to be focusing on finding our two main players, which is theory, which is our one behind the scrimmage and above the run, the 5-yard out. So we're looking for players. We're looking for our 2 and our 3rd and our 4th. So we're pretty much looking for our 2 main players. So what we're going to be focusing on is finding out, understanding how this play is run regularly. So we understand that the play is ran from pretty much the line of scrimmage. So we're understanding that drag goes underneath very, very good, which is just R1. I love this drag here, that route goes under. So we want to make that R1, but I'm seeing that right now this route can be covered pretty easily if it's not. And what I don't like about R1 is that we're going to be explaining each route. So we're going to be understanding what routes is available, what routes are not. And for this route here this is what I have the problem with, is that he gets bumped a lot between the lines. So he's not running the regular route as is. So what the problem is with this is when he runs the regular route, when no one's jamming him, the drag gets a little bit more, better to throw and underneath for a takeoff. So that's pretty good. But I wouldn't consider him a 1 in this instance until I see how the motion route is ran. Now, the motion route is pretty distinguished of this because he cuts back inside. So this is where it gets a little bit more egregious. So I was looking like, okay, if I'm throwing into circle, he comes in off this route. So should I make him my 1? Now, we'll play a little bit more interesting how he runs this route. He runs it within a motion. I wish they let you start from the motion. When he runs it in, he splits these 2 tight ends here. The tight end's already split, so that's pretty good. So he comes out. But what I do like about it, he cuts back inside. So zone is the objective to this play. So zone would be good. I would pretty much consider him my 1 or 2. If I'm really running this play, my 1 or 2, because this is going to be the give and go play here. Now, to run this play efficiently with no adjustments, we have to understand that R1 is not always going to be consistent. So we have to look at how the tight end actually breaks off into the go. So we see here the tight end breaks off well. So what we have to identify is practicing throwing that out route, because if you look at it, it's not a full, if I'm not mistaken, it's not a full out route here. It's really not. So it's not a cut. Like when you do an out route here, you see how it cuts. That is not how that route is actually supposed to run. So that's what makes the play a little bit more unique, because the out route is run and it comes out into an out and jumps back into a flat. So X, the way I would have to throw that is like a up and left type of throw, depending on where the defender is. So I would have to take that brief second to look at where the defender is. So if I was to make X would probably be my 2. And the only ones that would probably be my 1 is between circle and R1. So I would say square, because the only reason I would say square might be because we have to see how this route is ran, because it's not ran correctly, as you see here. Because when you see how the route is ran, he's supposed to give a go at that player's position. So, and when he runs the route, you see how wide that play is actually given out. So I really can't trust this route because he going over the route. The route comes out at that particular player right here. So when he runs the route, you see how he runs it with the 5-yard dig. He goes past that route, comes back in and goes back out. So the route is pretty much incorrectly ran or just adjustability of him not having good route running, I would say. So that comes into the position of I can't really put him there to run that route correctly in a particular time. I can audible too, but he runs that route pretty late and it gets on the defender pretty easily. So I can't really trust that route depending on if I had a better route runner on that side. That's the only reason that play is really going to work. But overall, Hobson would be the best one to run this route in particular because he's coming inside. So if I was to say R1 would be my 1, circle would be my 2, and my 3rd would be X. My 4th, depending on how the route is ran, is going to be square, depending on how the route is ran, because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about the X route off the motion, he comes in and can decide to go a drag or out route or a zig route. So that comes into play. So that depends on if the defender is guarding him, because we don't know. We don't know how he's going to come out in that particular way. But blitzing wise, the drags would be easier to hit. So if they send in pressure, we have to go about how the motion is ran. So this is where you have to really understand. You see how he switches up the play here. See how the play is actually switched here, because he has 3 different routes he can run. So now he can just either go to an out route or go in route. So you see he stick to the out route. So you see how he runs that play. So the routes is actually switched with him. So it's like I said, in order to make this play run correctly, we have to see where the defender is actually being, defended. So what makes this play a little difficult is that you have to see how the defense reacts to the routes. So in other words, R1 would probably be my go-to depending on how the defense is actually played. So I would definitely work my hand with R1 heavy, and I will work my way across the field from right to left. So I will hit R1. Then if I see circle here, he cuts back inside. Bam. I got circle here. Then I could drop down and hit my X, if I'm not mistaken, off the motion, depending on that. So if he comes back inside, I can hit motion up to throw that pass a little bit higher. So it just depended on how defenders react to the routes with this. So if you're looking for something, it's depending on how the defense is portraying, because you have defenses. And this is Madden logic mistake, which is crazy. And this is a perfect example. What I like about this is that I don't know if they haven't fixed this yet. When you bump a person, this is literally not a bump. You see how you're just riding the players. That's not a bump. That it's just the computer running into each other, which is okay. It's just, I don't know how is that a function in the game. And when you see it from a far distance, and you see him open, this actually gives him a way to understand where to go. So if you really want to focus on seeing how this play works, I will watch circle. Circle is going to be your key guide to understand where this play is going. If he's staying there, yeah. But you have to identify the pressure before then, because if you don't, they'll be sending, so much pressure at short distance of the field, you won't know what to hit. That's why I say the drag would be more safer in a way. But overall, this play is good. I have showed you how to run it with no adjustments. Just focus on circle, R1, and X. Your first will be circle, your second will be R1, and your third will be X. And your fourth will be square, depending on if you got a better route running receiver to run with. If not, I will not throw that pass. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to catch you guys later.